for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, 'cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, 'cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
all in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, 'cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, 'cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. With Tony Marinaro.
55 seconds left in the penalty, a minute and 27 seconds left in regulation time. Boston 4, Montreal 3. Lafleur coming out rather gingerly on the right side. He gives it into Lemaire, back to Lafleur. Oh!
The sickest Montreal Canadiens podcast.
You're in the ball!
Sports entertainment like no other.
Rejoint, on lui fait perdre la rondelle, une passe devant. Et c'est le dégagement et ce sera la victoire des Canadiens. Coupe Stanley pour les Canadiens. Leur 23e de l'histoire.
You found the dogs! John, you found the dogs! He found the dogs! And all together, they worked a young team to the top. And now, a 24th Stanley Cup banner will hang from the rafters of the famous Forum in Montreal. The Canadiens win the Stanley Cup.
Brought to you by Energy Transportation Group. Driven to be different. La Vida TV. Embrace your true nature. And Playground, your premier gaming destination. It's gonna be sick.
Marinaro, it's 10:01 on this Tuesday, February 27. The Montreal Canadiens, well, they did exactly what I thought they were going to do. They played Samuel Montembeault, and they won the game. This is what I told them not to do. This is what I told them not to do. But no one listens to me. The Canadiens beat the Coyotes by a score of 4-2. And you know what? When you're hosting a show out of Montreal, most often than not, you would probably be happy that the Canadiens won. Well, tonight I'm not happy, and you're going to find out why over the next hour. I hate to be this guy who's not in a good mood and stuff like that. For the most part, I think my mood and my attitude has been exemplary. But I think tonight I'm going to absolutely lose it. Call your friends, call your father, your mother, your sister, your brother, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, your grandmother, your grandfather, everyone, all of your friends. Tell them to tune in on YouTube live right now because Marinaro is on the verge of having a nervous breakdown. He's about to lose it. I actually texted my doctor. I told him to get me some Activan, and I'm probably going to pass by the office tomorrow. I need some Activan right now to calm me down because I'm about to lose my it's a podcast. I don't have a boss. I'm about to lose my shit right now, all right? Max Lapierre, former Montreal Canadian, will join me. He's the voice of reason, so they say. He's probably going to try and calm me down, but I don't think I'm going to be able to be calmed down tonight because what I saw tonight was the definition of just lunacy, stupidity. You call it whatever you want. I didn't agree with what they did. Sick Podcast brought to you in part by Energy Transportation Group, a leading full-service logistics provider serving all of North America, driven to be different. I love those guys. Also brought to you by the guys behind me. This fridge. You see the fridge? La Bête TV? Yeah. I'm going to have about 10 of them right now, I think. Brewed in Quebec, a winner of a dozen international awards. La Bête TV offers quality microbrewery beers made with premium ingredients for everyone's taste. La Bête TV, embrace your true nature. Also brought to you in part by Playground. Discover a world of luxury at Playground. Explore their new 30,000 square foot expansion with thrilling games, gourmet dining, and live entertainment located just over the Mercier Bridge, only minutes from downtown Montreal. Playground, experience the strip without the trip. As a matter of fact, as soon as this podcast is over, give or take in about an hour from now, I think I'm going to make my way to Ganawage, and I think I'm going to go to Playground, and I'm going to go to one of the cash tables, and I'm just going to get lost in a game of Texas Hold'em. Also brought to you in part by Accent Insurance Solutions. Accent doesn't sell insurance. They shop insurance for you to find the right product, right on the money, whatever your insurance needs, home, automobile, or business. It's funny because when I see their phone number, I think of my buddy Sergio Momesso. Their number to call is 363-3636. But very unfortunately for Accent, I'm in no laughing mood right now. Maxim Lapierre, bring him up. What's going on with you?
What's going on, my friend?
I said it earlier today at BPM Sports Radio. I was on with George Larac and Stefan Gonzalez. I said it earlier this evening with Jean-Charles Lajoie. I was on GC at TVA. I wanted them to lose this game. They were 1 point ahead of the Arizona Coyotes. Arizona having a game in hand. This was a 4-point game, even though 4-point games usually don't exist when East plays West, West plays East. But this was you know what this reminded me of? This reminded me of last season. Connor Bedard is available. He is a generational talent. He is going to go number 1 in the draft. And even though being at the bottom doesn't guarantee picking first overall, because Chicago was third last and they ended up winning the lottery, it worked out for the Canadiens a couple of years ago where they finished last and they got the first pick. The Canadiens needed to lose this game tonight in order to win in the future. For me anyway, you still have to pick the right player. I get it. But why don't you put yourself in that position? Why don't you put the chances on your side? What am I getting at? Who's the goalie who gives you a best chance to win? Montembeault. Who was the goalie last year who gave you the best chance to win? Montembeault. Montembeault last year stood on his head and went to steal about 7 or 8 points the Canadiens shouldn't have had if they would have played another goalie. If they don't play Montembeault tonight, they lose this hockey game tonight. What do? In a game they have to lose, they play the goalie who gives them the best chance to win. What had to happen, happened. He stopped 36 of 38. He did exactly what I told you he was going to do. He stole the game. No one listens to me. Go ahead, Max. Take me out of my misery.
I have so many points right now. I know you're mad, and obviously that's the normal reaction when you want your team to draft in the top 5. And we all know it's a tough season and all that, but I think that's impossible. And one thing that makes me mad, and you're mad right now, but what makes me mad is people that think that teams are gonna tank on purpose. You know, we have been hearing about tanking team. I understand that you have GMs in the league that gives you a shitty team on the ice, and it's tough to win some hockey games. But you're not gonna ask a guy like David Savard not to block shots. He doesn't care where the Canadiens are picking this year. You know, guys have careers. Guys, they want to play for themselves. Every single guy on the ice is a business. They don't care if we draft top 5. You know, Tony, they're not gonna go and say, "Well, I'm not gonna play well." I'm not. That's the first point. Second point for me is, do you prefer that Montembeault goes and steal a game against the Colorado Avalanche? I prefer
he's not. But I'm not upset. Everything you're saying, I agree with.
Yeah, but I prefer that Montembeault is in net tonight and just win a game that you're supposed to win at home against the Coyotes. They're not a good team. I prefer that than you put Montembeault in net against the Boston Bruins and he makes 45 saves and we just stole a game that we're not supposed to win. That would make me mad. No?
I would have liked to have seen Caden Primo tonight. They would have lost, with all due respect to Caden, by the way. And if they wanted to play Montembeault on Thursday night in Florida, I still think Florida would have won the game because of the way they're going. Now, I'm going to say this. You're right. Players don't tank. We know that. It's true. Do they take the pedal off the metal at one point if they have a long-term contract and the season is over? And are they thinking of their vacation and their golf game? I think some players, depending on their character or lack thereof, because some have less character than others, some will probably have that kind of attitude, okay? I'm upset tonight with Gorton and Hughes. How often have you heard me say I'm upset with Gorton and Hughes? It hasn't happened very often. I know Marty St. Louis wanted to win that game tonight. I know that he's a competitor and he wants to win absolutely everything. He even wants to win practices if that exists. He had lost 5 games in a row. He was going up against a team that was 0-10-2 in their last 12. He was at home in front of his fans. He wanted to win this one because he wanted to stop the bleeding. I'm upset that Gordon and Hughes didn't put their foot down and say, listen, Marty, we understand you're the coach, and at no point have we told you how to coach. But we did tell you to go with a 3-goalie system this year for several reasons. And tonight, we're going to play that card of the 3-goalie system. We'd like for you to play Caden Primo. Even if, lie to the guy, tell him you're shopping Primo. It doesn't matter. He won't know. Just play Primo.
I don't think it works like that. I think for goalies,
I would make it work like that.
Yeah, but I think they already have the schedule. I'm sure they know who's in net when until the end of the season. You know, like they have, what decision do they have to make with the goalies right now? They don't need to protect anyone from being in top shape for a big game that's going to get you in the playoffs. They just have their schedule and they're going to go with Primo next game, and then it's going to be whoever is on the schedule. That's it. It's that simple. And Tony, like you're mentioning veterans right now, and you're right on that point. I think that's a problem right now with the competition level. Is you look at the contract situation with the Canadiens, and everybody's in a comfortable position. You know, there's 3 guys that need a contract next year. That's it. And they're like, I don't want to take anything away from them, but they're guys like Yulanen. They're guys that don't really have an impact on the game. So if you have a veteran, trust me, if a guy like Josh Anderson was on his last year of his contract, he would be a different player on the ice. I can guarantee you that.
Oh, that I can guarantee you for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. That hurts the team. That hurts the team right now. Those are the type
of players you don't give long-term contracts to, right? The players who decide to turn it off and turn it on and turn it off, you know, they decide to turn it on within a year and a half of their contract. And then once they get the contract, it's off for, the next 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it is. And then they turn it back on when they're within a year and a half of their contract. Anyway, we have a lot to talk about during the game. We're going to talk about the accent insurance moment of the game. You know what? We can get to it right away. The accent insurance moment of the game. You want to know when it happened? I'll tell you.
Accent insurance moment of the game.
the accent insurance moment of this hockey game, there were a couple. One of which was the Montreal Canadiens taking a 2-0 lead and getting goals from unusual suspects. Armia to put the Canadiens up 1-0. Jordan Harris to put the Canadiens up 2-0. They regained that 2-goal lead by another unusual suspect, Tanner Pearson. So all the unusual suspects scored goals tonight, with the exception, of course, of Nick Suzuki, who's not an unusual suspect, and he put the nail in the coffin with the 4-2 goal. But I'm going to say that the Montreal Canadiens got off to a 2-0 lead, and Samuel Montembeault playing in this hockey game tonight. That was the accent solution moments of the game for me. All right, we're also going to take your phone calls tonight during the program at 1-888-5856, 1-888-585-7425. All right, okay. Joshua Roy, and I told you this on La Poche Bleue, which is your podcast, La Taverne Hockey, which is a segment that you have within your podcast, which usually, by the way, goes at Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. unless the Canadiens are playing, and then usually do it on a Tuesday or a Thursday. But anyway, long story short, when was it? About a week or two ago, we were about 8,000 people on your podcast at the same time. And one of the things I told Eric Belanger, I said to him, Joshua Roy, this kid has something. You won't put up the points that he put up by fluke. This kid has offensive instincts. He's got ability. He's got passion. He's got passing ability. He's got hockey IQ. And okay, maybe he's not the quickest skater, but he makes up for it with a very, very intelligent hockey mind. And he has shown me some grit over the last couple of weeks that some probably didn't think he had. Max, if the Montreal Canadiens, in an ideal world, need 2 wingers for the second line next year, they might just need 1. Because if they can develop this kid and do some of the work that they did with Slavkovsky and others, I think Joshua Roy is a top 6 in the National Hockey League for a very long time.
Yeah, lately he competes, and I like to see that from a young guy. And I have an issue with something right now, though. I'm looking at his ice time, and tonight he played 12:36. That's not enough for me. Like, even like a guy like Ilonen played 8:48. I want the young guys on the ice. You remember a few weeks ago we talked about Jacky. Like, Jacky tonight, 17:33. That's okay. That's a little better. Like, it's not 12 minutes. You need to see those guys. Like, Jacky is confident right now. Same thing with Roy. I think he's gonna, if he plays 15 minutes, that would be perfect for me. Like, a little more power play ice time. And you're talking about the lines next year. And I know right now this is an unbelievable line with Slavkovsky, Suzuki, and Caulfield. But let's go back in time. The first center that helped Slavkovsky play the way he can play on the ice was Kirby Dach. You remember? Yes. He had a good stretch. He was playing really well with him. So I'm wondering if that's not the plan for next year, to have Slavkovsky, Dach, Roy, and then Suzuki, Caulfield with a free agent that could play on the first line. Like, then you have 2 great lines, and you're starting to go in the right direction. I know, like, people, like, we have a good first line right now, but things change. Like, you need to balance. If you want to make the playoffs, if you want to go far in the playoffs, you don't need 1 line. You need to be good on 2, 3, 4 lines.
Okay, but I don't think it's a free agent that's coming in if they go out and get a player, and I'm going to tell you why.
Can be RFA too.
Off the books. It could be an RFA. You're right about that, but it can also be a trade a la Doc and a la Newhook, where the Canadiens 100%. Have 1 gazillion draft picks, and that's the way I think it's going to go down in the next year, Max. I don't think the Canadiens are in a position right now to sign an unrestricted free agent, nor do I think an unrestricted free agent would want to come to the Montreal Canadiens right now, who would be missing the playoffs by a ton of points in a rebuilding team. The way I think it's going to go down, and by the way, who are they going to get rid of that's going to open up some cap room? Jake Allen might not get traded this season. David Savard might not get traded this season. Armia might not get traded this season. The only guy who's probably got a chance of finding a team maybe last year of his contract is Tanner Pearson, or else they're going to end up losing him for nothing. So I think what can happen is a trade. I think what can happen is, now you talked about Slavkovsky. All right. We knew that he couldn't keep on playing the way he was playing in the last 3 or 4 weeks, where, my God, he was in the conversation of some of the hottest players in the National Hockey League, right?
Yeah.
And he was the best player on this team for 3 or 4 weeks.
Yep.
It's a couple of games now where he doesn't quite have the same confidence. He doesn't quite make the same passes. He doesn't quite make the same plays. The goal that Arizona scored to make it 2-1, I don't blame Slafkovsky on the play, by the way, but Moser takes the puck in. He goes to the back of the net. He banks it off of the back of the net. There's a mistake there. Matheson's on him, and for whatever reason, Gouldy jumps on him too. So both defensemen jump on the same player, and then Kerfoot is faster to the puck than Slafkovsky, and he's just able to jam it home and to tuck it in.
Yeah.
Slafkovsky, a couple of penalties, not the same shot, not the same passing. It's a couple of games he's off. Are you seeing anything as to why he's off all of a sudden?
Well, honestly, I think that's just normal for a young guy in the NHL. He had good moments, perfect. Now it's time to go back to the basics and just play the way he was playing before he had the hot stretch with points and goals and all that. But if I'm right, I think that all three of them were hurt a few games ago, right? I think they took the morning skates off. I think they're starting to be
Therapy day, correct.
So I think they're banged up a little bit, and that's normal. You're a young guy in the NHL. You need every single little percentage of energy and positive to be able to have success. If you're banged up a little bit, well, obviously your game is going to suffer a little bit from it. But like, I'm watching the game tonight, there's nothing dramatic. It's just a normal game. It's not like a poor game, and it's not a good game. It was okay. Like, it was decent. And you're playing a team that's shooting. Like, how many attempts did they have tonight? The Arizona, like 72 shot attempts. Like,
no. I think I heard on television they say in the last minute of play it was 82.
Well, exactly. So you can't really do anything with that. You're just in your zone getting outshot. And hey, good thing you asked to have Montembeault in net tonight. Like, that was a good idea you had, Tony. Montembeault was solid.
No. I did not ask for Montembeault.
No,
you know what?
That was good.
I got to tell you something. I had a feeling that Montembeault was going to play a big one tonight. I did. It's like, I had this dream last night, which seemed more like a nightmare, right? Here we are. They say the Montreal Canadiens have the most intelligent fans in the world, okay? So what I'm thinking of is June in Vegas, the NHL draft, the Canadiens finishing last in the East. The Canadiens end up winning the lottery. The Canadiens end up having, I don't know, the second pick or whatever, because they were able to, move down with the lottery and stuff like that. And then I can imagine the excitement, all right? Or who knows, maybe even a first, and then you end up getting, who knows, a Celebrini, or you end up getting a Demidov, or you end up getting a one of those guys, right? Yeah. And so I'm imagining that, and I'm imagining all the hype and all the buzz, and then the next 10 years, and then the Canadiens that are either going to build down the middle, or the Canadiens are finally going to have elite talent, and then the Canadiens are going to go far for 5 or 6 years. No, what does this fan base do? They're not going to make the playoffs. They're not even going to come close. They win a meaningless game versus Arizona. They now have 3 points up on Arizona. They're probably going to finish ahead of Arizona at the end of the season because of this win in such a stupid game. And what does this fan base do? With 6 minutes left, they start saying, ole, 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 ole. Then what's the song that they were singing at the end of the game too? What is that song there? That Canadien song. More, ale, Montreal, ale, Montreal.
Yeah,
and then the second that one's over, Jean Robitaille kicks in. Quand j'étais dans mon quartier, après l'école, on jouait au hockey. Je me prenais pour le rocket, le gros bill, le boum boum. Prenais pour le bleu, blanc, rouge.
You can't control that, Tony. You can't control what's going to happen during a hockey game.
I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore.
Well,
like, what are these fans doing? Like, what are they doing?
They're enjoying the nice evening they had, Tony. Like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna go to the game hoping to lose the game. They paid a lot of money for the tickets. They're probably there with their kids. They want to see the guys score a goal.
A loss tonight is a win for the next 5 years.
Yeah, but
What
Tony,
don't people understand?
You can't control that. It's impossible. You can't control that.
Yes, you can.
No, that
Yes,
doesn't mean
you don't put Montembeau in goal tonight. You don't win.
You know how many good games Primo had at home?
It wasn't happening tonight.
Well, it doesn't work like that, Tony. And the next thing, like if
Yeah.
it makes you feel better, the Canadians have the toughest schedule until the end of the season in the whole NHL. They're starting now. It's going to be a tough one, a really tough one.
That's true.
Okay. The other thing I want you to think about, and we're going to go division by division right now. Like, let's say the teams in the bottom, normally like Anaheim and San Jose and Chicago, they're going to play each other a few times. You know, they all see each other. They're in the same conference. They're going to play each other. So someone's going to get 2 points and go up. Columbus, Columbus for me is a wild card.
But like Montreal's not going to finish bottom three. No chance. Chicago,
no.
Jose,
I think they have a legit chance to finish bottom 5. I see Ottawa catching up. They have 3 games in hand, so that's a done deal. I think Ottawa is going to catch Montreal. So then you have the bottom 6, which is Chicago, San Jose, Anaheim. So no chance these 2 teams are going to move from there unless there's a miracle. Then it's Columbus, Arizona, Montreal. Okay, Montreal has the toughest schedule. Montreal has probably the toughest division. So, and they got game in hands. Like Columbus got 2 games, Arizona's got 1 game. I think for sure the Canadians are bottom 6 and probably bottom 5. And it doesn't matter, Tony. Like there's been some good picks at number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just I think Kel McCarr was a number 5 if my memory is right. Like it. You
number
never
4.
know.
McCarr was 4.
Well, 4 exactly. So just do your homework, draft a good player, and go from there. This guy that we're gonna draft normally is not gonna help the team right away. Like we're not gonna win with that pick right away, unless it's Celebrini or a Bedard type of player. So we need to be patient. For me, I think the Montreal Canadiens right now are at this stage. They need to do like the New York Rangers did and just sign a Panarin type of player. They need to sign a free agent to change. Just think about the powerful forward on the first 2 lines. You change the whole dynamic of the team next year. And you start Montembeau more often. And every guy's got 1 more year experience. Then you have something a little better. That's the direction we need to think. And I love Peterson in Vancouver. I know he's not happy there. Hey, try it. Maybe not with the first pick we have this year because that's a very important pick, but whatever happens after, can we make an offer sheet? Do we have does it work in the timing? I don't know. I'm not a specialist in numbers and all that, but I would take my pick this year, and I would take the risk to make an offer sheet to Peterson. I would do it. Yeah, I would try it. I don't care. I really don't understand why there's no teams using it more often. Like you got a guy like Peterson right now.
They don't want it done to them. That's why the way the Canadians, they did an offer sheet to Sebastian Aho.
That wasn't serious
and
though.
then Carolina stuck it to them. And
but that wasn't serious. You need an offer sheet that's going to put the other team's salary cap in trouble. Vancouver has a lot of good players. Montreal, it's tough to attract free agents. Go for it, man. What is it? 3 first-rounder? I think you need to give.
All depending on what the amount is.
Yeah, I know, but we know the amount is going to be very, very high. So this year we have 2 first-rounder. Next year we have 2 first-rounder. It's okay. We'll lose 1 or 2 or 3 picks. It doesn't matter. Go for it. You're not going to get when are you going to get a guy like Peterson in Montreal? Let's be honest here. Guys, they don't sign here. They don't. And you don't draft guys like Peterson every year. I would try it. I would not be
Elias
scared to try
Pettersson, 25 years old, contract up at the end of the season, making $7.35 million. You're going to have to give that guy over $10 million a year.
100%. I wouldn't be shy to do it. You know why? Because you got phenomenal contracts with Caulfield and Suzuki. So it doesn't matter if you overpay one guy. And please don't come and tell me but somebody's going to be paid more than our captain. Who cares? Honestly, the cap is going up every year. So everybody's going to make the same money than Suzuki for the next 8 years. Doesn't work like that.
Well, I love Suzuki, but and I know he's not Elias Pettersson. Let's be honest here. I mean, Elias Pettersson, 74 points in 60 games, 102 a year ago. I mean, let's look. Suzuki's a really good player. He's not Elias Pettersson. He does certain things that Elias Pettersson cannot do.
Now I want you to think about the lineup because he's a young guy. Think about the lineup with Peterson. You got a solid top six. That's a solid top six. Why not?
Well, what are we going to do? You got Elias Pettersson. Your team's amazing.
Exactly. What are we going to do? We're going to wait, Tony. We're going to hope that there's a player that's going to sign in Montreal. We know everything that's against a player signing in Montreal. A lot of guys, they don't want to come here. You know why? Because I don't want to be disrespectful, but we're not the team that used to win Stanley Cups. We're not the team in the league now that every organization look at and they're like, we need to do what the Canadians are doing. That's not it anymore. Tampa Bay is the standards now. Vegas are the standard. That's the team you look up to and you're like, okay, this is how it works in their rink. Look at the dressing room. Look at the way they train their players. Look at the support the young guys have. They win Stanley Cups. We need to stop living in the past. Guys don't cry when they're free agents saying, oh, I got to sign in Montreal because of the history. The history it stopped in 93. Not stop, but you know what I mean. Like, it's not the same.
It's been on hold since. Hey, listen, you get Elias Pettersson. You know what that means, eh? You could put Kirby Dach on the wing if you wanted to.
Exactly. And
because Elias Pettersson becomes your number one centerman. Nick Suzuki becomes your number two centerman. Alex Newhook can become your number three centerman, or you end up putting Elias Pettersson, who can fly. You put him with Newhook and Dach if you wanted to, or with Slavkovsky and Dach. And you can have Newhook with Caulfield and Suzuki, or you can have Suzuki with Caulfield and Slavkovsky. Now you got a top six, and now you're giving Joshua Roy time to grow and develop. He's on a third line, and next thing you know, within a year or two, he could be in the top six.
And honestly, like, you're not gonna get a guy like that. I'm sorry. Even if every player wanted to come here, let's say, it's tough to find a player that makes 100 points a year. He doesn't do it every year, but he's got the talent level to do it. And then you got Suzuki, like Caulfield, Slavkovsky, Dach. And Dach, for me, on the wing, you can compare. They're not the same type of player, but look at Byfield in LA. Since he plays the wing, he's phenomenal. He uses his skating, his big body, goes to the net. He's having an unbelievable season because he doesn't have the pressure to play down low anymore and to waste his energy defending. He's just playing hockey.
Yeah, but look, Max, you and I were getting carried away. We're getting all excited here. All of a sudden, I was about to, I was really upset. Now you're starting to get me a little bit excited. This stuff hardly happens, man. It never happens. It hardly happens.
Why? Because if the rule is
going to do it to them.
Who cares? If the rule is there,
like an unwritten rule. You know, when the GMs get together at the Board of Governors meetings and all that stuff?
No.
It's kind of like, don't do it to me, I won't do it to you.
Yeah, but Tony, there's still a lot of teams that have done it in the past. Like Shea Weber got an offer sheet from Philly, right?
Yes.
Kessler got an offer sheet from Philly. The Canadians did one to Aho. Like, there's been a lot of this going on. Why be scared? It's your business. He's a good player. Go get him. What's the problem? And if they come and get another player, well, go get someone else in another team. It's part of the rules. You're allowed to do that. That's not illegal. It's written black on white. This is what you owe if you pay him over $10 million is so many first-round picks, and that's a rule. It's because it's legal. So are we scared to make business because, my friend in Vancouver is not going to like me and he's going to try to do it back to me? Then you're going to have a great center for 10 years? No, I'm sorry, but for me, do it. It's not bad business. That's part of the rules. You're allowed.
All right. So if you give 10.725 315, the compensation is 4 first-round picks. If you give $10,725,314, the compensation is 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick, and a third-round pick. So if you give between 8.580 to 10.725, 314,000, it's 2 first-round picks, 1 second-round pick, and 1 third-round pick. And if you give over 10.725, 315, it's 4 first-round picks.
Yeah,
but you know,
I've seen on the chat a great comment. Somebody said, I will give 3 Mezar for a guy like Peterson. You know, like we always think in our head that we're trading 3 firsts overall. That's not what's going to happen there. You know, like that doesn't mean the first pick we're going to have is a game changer. Maybe you're going to lose one, but at the end of the day, you win a great center. Anyway, we all know that's a long shot, but I don't know why we don't use the tool more often. Like that's important. Like why not doing it? And we also know, coming from the media in Vancouver, that he's not happy, didn't like the way the negotiations were going. Like it would have been done a long time ago if he was happy, you know. Like he's a great player for this franchise. The team is doing well. They would have solved that problem right away. So for me, go for it.
So how much you giving him?
I don't care, Tony. I don't care how much we give him, because we need to get a player at one point, and we need to stop being scared of everything. Like, oh, are we going to overpay? Are we going to lose? Can we go for it? Like, we've been basically like playing defense since '93. Like, oh, we're scared to sign someone. We're scared to trade someone. We're like, no blockbuster deals. Like, let's go. Like, let's sign a guy. Like, what's his value in the market? That's it. Let's offer. What's the value of a guy that makes 100 points? That's it. What are the comparable? And let's go for that amount. That's it. It's that simple.
You're gonna have to give. 7 years, 84.
Okay.
12 a year.
I just 1 second. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Suzuki is
Nylander's making 11 and a half.
Just to make it simple. Okay. Suzuki and Caulfield, it's 7.8 basically, like 7,875 and 7,850. Okay,
correct.
So what is it? It's 14. It's 15. Let's put 16 million for the 2-star player right now, right? Right.
Yeah.
Okay, let 16. Let's say we sign him for 11 million. You're at 27. You're paying 9 million for your 3 top forwards. Am I right? I'm not the best in math, but
no, that math works out. But you got your stud defenseman and your first overall.
Wait. If your top 3 forwards are paid 9 million average, I think you did a phenomenal job in signing your top guys.
Yes,
exactly. So why not go for it?
I can understand that.
Tony, you've been in the business for a long time. What are the odds you're going to sign a guy like Peterson as a free agent? Like, not him, but like that type of player in his prime.
You won't. Players are not going to come here as unrestricted free agents. Not when they have a chance to go to the Big Apple. Not when they have a chance to go to Florida. Not when they have a chance to go to Tampa. Not when they have a chance to go to Dallas. Not when they have a chance to go in the Sun or somewhere else, Los Angeles, whatever. No, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You're right. It's either you got to trade for them, or you got to RFA.
Yeah, you can also make an offer. Yeah.
What you can do is you can say to Vancouver, and you call them up, you say, listen, here's the deal, okay? Let's make a deal for Pettersson. No, we don't want to make a deal for Pettersson. Well, I don't want to offer sheet him. But if you don't want to make a deal with me, I might not have any other choice. Exactly. So listen, if you want to get something in return, let's talk about something. We'll try and, you know what? We'll try and give you something fair here. Or else I'm going to hit him with 7 years, 85 million. And then you see what they say. That's a good approach, I think.
I would try it, because we're going to be stuck in the same thing for a lot of years. Unless we draft well in the next few years and the team is attractive for one guy, is like, oh, if I get the chance to play with Suzuki, that's going to be great for my career. Maybe, but hey, he always been tough. Who's the last free agent that we've signed in Montreal that was dominant?
Well, one season, Radulov.
Yeah.
1 season.
That's
And
the
he
last...
wasn't Elias Pettersson. He was not Elias
No,
Pettersson.
but my point is, when is the last time we had a game changer that he signed for long term as a free agent in Montreal, and we're like, yeah, this guy's going to finally change it? That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. I think, and not only for the Canadians, but I think that the Canadian market, not all of them, but like places like Winnipeg and all that, they need to do that to survive. Obviously, Montreal is always going to survive, but you have no choice. And I see someone saying I'm delusional. Sorry, that has been done before, and that's part of the rules. Use
when Bob Gainey was GM and he made that trade for Scott Gomez, of course, then the next day, I think, or 2 days later, he went on that one-day shopping spree, and he signed Brian Jonta. He signed Mike Camilleri. Camilleri played well here.
Yeah.
Then they acquired Alex Kovalev in a trade.
Yeah.
They acquired Alex Kovalev in a trade, and then he was here for a couple of years, and then but his contract was up. He ended up signing with Ottawa. Remember that?
Yeah, exactly. That's the last time we had and obviously that was a good time. Like I think when Camilleri and all those guys came, you can see what it does when you sign good players. But I don't think they were in their prime, like a guy like Peterson.
Alex Kovalev. He was with the Canadians 1 year. They acquired him. Then 04-05 was the lockout, I think. And then 05-06, 06-07, 07-08, 08-09. And then he ended up going to the Ottawa Senators. So I think they make a trade for him, but I think his contract was up at one point, and I think he re-signed with the Canadians for a couple of years. But then it was after that contract was up that he didn't re-sign again with the Canadians. What do you think of Jordan Harris?
I love
offensive instincts. Yeah, he played a great game tonight.
Good skater. I think he's one of the guys that were so focused on the big names like Goulet, Jacky, like Hudson in the NCAA and Mayu. I think we kind of forget about him. I remember the old management, they were very, very excited about having this guy on the team at one point. You remember that, Tony? Like they were like, this guy is legit, and I think he's a good player. Like, is he going to be a number 1D? No, but I think he's great depth. Like I think he's a good skater. He's sound defensively. I think he's got a good shot. Like he's never going to do anything flashy, but I think in the long term, he's a guy that's going to play sound hockey for you. And I remember when I was playing for Ken Hitchcock, like he loved guys that were playing high percentage hockey games. And I think in a few years, this is exactly the type of D he's going to be. That guy that you don't really see all game, but he does a great first pass. He's skating well to recover on mistakes. Quiet kid, very smart. Like I don't want to be rushed to trade that guy or to make him disappear from the prospect list. We have time right now. Let's give him ice time. He had injuries. He had a few things this year going on. I want to see him next year. There's no rush for me to trade him unless obviously it's a great offer. But I want to see him play a little more. I think he's a good skater. And remember the comments. I know we had a long chat, but remember the comments from Chris Letang. Like I think obviously everyone sees the game differently, but I want to see.
Hello, did we lose Max?
No, I'm right here.
No, remind me of that comment from Chris Letang. He compared Jordan Harris to
himself. He said, when I started the league, this is who I see, because he's skating with the Canadians in the summer, right?
Yeah.
And he was saying, he reminds me of me when I started in the league. Good skater, smart offensively. He even told us, he said, people don't even see it yet. But that's what I'm seeing in this defenseman. Okay, time out here.
Wow.
I don't agree 100% with Chris. I don't think he's going to become Chris Letang, who's he's a Hall of Famer, But I still think he's a good defenseman. Good depth. He's going to be a good 4, 5, 6. We need those type of guys in the hockey teams, guys that can accept their roles. He's never going to complain because he doesn't have the ice time he deserves. Those are good teammates. You need that. It's not always all about the superstars. There's people that are quiet in the dressing room and they do their little jobs, and that's what you need to win.
For whatever reason, people are bringing up Kent Johnson of the Columbus Blue Jackets and asking about him.
Was sent to
Columbus
the
is
minors,
one of the
right?
worst. Yeah, Columbus is one of the worst teams in the National Hockey League. He's a 21-year-old with a heck of a lot of talent who can play center and can play left wing. He's on an entry-level contract.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they want to trade this player?
No idea. I don't think, obviously, that's what from reading in the newspaper and all that, but I don't think he was too happy when he got sent down. I think there was a lot of going on.
Down. Yeah.
You know, like, I think a lot of kids now, that's the word they're thinking. They want to be in the NHL right away if they're on a bad team. You know, they think they deserve a spot right away. That's normal.
Mm-hmm.
I think Columbus is not going to give that guy for free. He's a really good player and he's a good young guy. They just changed the management, you know, like they're going to be patient. Like there's a new staff that's going to come in place. New GM is going to analyze the whole situation. So that's going to take 2-3 years. Like he's not just going to come and get rid of young guys when they're a market that needs to rebuild in a certain way, you know?
Yeah, no, I don't think, I don't think you're going to be able to have that player, up and down from the American Hockey League or from Cleveland. They're just trying to help him develop his game, and they got a bunch of kids right there. They got Chinnikov, I think, that they brought up. Whatever, they have Marchenko. They have a couple, and it's a losing environment right now in Columbus, and sometimes you don't want your young players, young prospects around that kind of environment. Anyway, so we'll see what happens. Tanner Pearson. I mean, I guess the only good thing about him scoring is that. For him anyway, is his contract's up at the end of the year, and this guy's not going to be back with the Montreal Canadiens, and he's probably looking for a place where he can go and he can get picked up before the deadline, which once again is on Friday, March 8th.
You know what, Tony? You're not going to get much for him. Like that's going to be pure fourth line depth. Like I don't know what we can get for a guy like this, but what is he making? 3.2 this year. So the good news is there's going to be 3.2 available on the salary cap next year. And hey, good for him. If he can play good hockey until March 8th and get traded in a contender, why not? Like, maybe a team like LA, but where he won the cup. But why would a team take this contract right now? Like 3.2 for,
It's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're back. Do you hear me?
Yeah. All good.
All right. Okay. I don't know what happened there for a second. I don't even know if it was you or it was me. Was it me?
I think it was you. And
okay.
I've seen a few people do a standing ovation on the chat. They're like, "Yeah,
oh really? Okay.
Tony doesn't speak anymore." I'm just kidding.
Can't talk. All right, okay, all right. I don't know if I touched something here, but anyway, long story short, Armia, 1 year left on his deal after this year at $3.4 million. Do you think anyone in the national look? Everyone knows that Armia shows up when he wants to and stuff like that. But do you think anyone looks at him and says, "Okay, playing on a bad team"? Out of all the guys who are plus minus, he's probably he's got one of the better plus minuses on the team. He's on the ice in the final minute tonight with an empty net, so it goes to show a trust factor by St. Louis. He plays the penalty kill, even though the penalty kill's got a terrible percentage, by the way. But it does show a trust factor again from the coaching staff. You think any team will go out and pick him up, knowing that they got to pay this guy 3.4 next year?
You know what? That might be the most complicated situation because this guy, when he's on, he's a great player. Like he's not just a fourth liner. He's a great player with a lot of skills, great shot, good size. But
Great's
when
a big
he's
word, Max.
no. He's
Great is a big word.
he's a very good hockey player, Tony. He's just when he's off,
Yes.
oh my, he's off. Like he's not just like having an average game. He's when he decides he's not playing tonight, he's not playing. But he's the type of guy you can move around the lineup. You can put him on the first line if they're struggling. You can put him on the fourth line, on the third line. He's good defensively. You can PK. Like I don't know if a team is going to take the risk though. Not just for next year, but can you afford to put this guy in the lineup if you don't know if he's going to compete? That being said, would he compete every night if he's playing for a contender? Like if you put him in a great team, is he going to compete every night?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. No, I just think that's his makeup. That's what he is. He plays 1 in every 5, and you put him on a contender, he might play 1 in any 4. Like I don't. Pride, Max. You either have it or you don't.
That being said, I think when you arrive in a new team and you got a chance to win the cup, that could change your attitude for 2 months. You're always going to come back to who you are at one point. But I think for a playoff ride, sometimes you just catch up with the emotion, and you want to follow the new group and impress your new teammates and all that. Maybe you have a good ride for a few months, but I don't know. It's a risky move.
He'll have a big year next year. He'll have a big year next year because he's going to try and get himself a 3-year deal at $7.5 million or whatever it is. $2.5 million per season, 3 years, $7.5 million. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Added to what he was making the last couple of years. Cha-ching, 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 and away para la. Yeah. All right, okay. What did you make of Caulfield's game tonight? Seemed to me that he wasn't very visible tonight. I mean, we saw Suzuki. Caulfield, not as much. Slavkovsky, we talked about it. It's been average over the past couple of games, a couple of bad penalties, not shooting the puck the same way. But what do you think of Caulfield?
I mean, 1 shot tonight, that's it. So, that's this time of the year, guys, when they're not on top of their games, like with the passion and emotion. Like I think he had a few good shifts where he was skating and all that. But hey, Tony, I think that's what we're going to see until the end of the year. You never know what to expect from any players. I think Suzuki's acting like a veteran. He's acting like a pro, like a real leader. Yeah. Like he's trying to play good games every night. But I mean, Caulfield is a different situation than any other player on his line because he cannot really do anything else. Like Suzuki can be good on draws defensively, can be good hanging on to the puck. Slavkovsky can decide to hit bodies, go to the net. What is Caulfield going to do if he doesn't get the puck and doesn't have the chance to shoot? He's not going to go hit and hurt and he's not going to go to the net. He's not going to trash talk. His game is to shoot the puck. So if he doesn't get the puck, you won't see him. That's it. He's a good skater, but right now we're having a tough time too. We're stuck in our zone. He's a guy with speed. He's a guy with speed that needs to get the puck when he's full speed. The puck didn't come tonight from our Ds, and it's normal. No. They were under pressure and all that. So he's a little bit. It depends a lot on how well his teammates are playing to have success.
Did you ever have shoulder surgery like him?
No.
You didn't, eh?
I had a few teammates that had it. That I think now, like the staffs are so good. Like I don't think that bothers him. Like he was playing well. Nobody talked about his shoulder when the line was scoring every game.
No. But do you consider him a perimeter player? And if so, do you think he'll stay that way? Because the guy they call the snake, I call Userpend, Simo the snake, Boisvert, says that for him, Caulfield's a perimeter player. And I said, well, there's a lot of players, Max Pacioretty made a pretty nice career of being a perimeter player, led the Montreal Canadiens in scoring, I don't know how many times, 30, 33, 35, 37, 39 goals. He sees Caulfield that way. I believe after this season, shoulder gets a little bit stronger. Maybe not next year because the Canadiens still won't be able to take the next step or the next couple of steps. But a couple of years from now, the Montreal Canadiens are a competitive team. I think Caulfield will go to some of those traffic areas. I'm not going to compare him to Dino Ciccarelli, who had a lot of bite in him. But Ciccarelli would park himself in front of the goalie despite not being a big guy. I think Caulfield might be able to do it. We're a couple of years away.
Well, I'll have to agree with with Snake on that one. I don't think he will be that guy going in front of the net.
No,
I do think though that he's a good passer. I think he sees the ice well. I think he's got more than just a good shot. I think he's got speed. He's quick. He's agile on the ice. I think if he works on his defensive aspects of the game, he's gonna be a good veteran on the team. I don't think he's Phil Kessel, like he's not a cheater that always gonna just wait. He's a good hockey player, but if he doesn't score goals, man, he doesn't have much impact on the game. Like and ask Guillaume. Guillaume was a goal scorer, right? Ask anyone.
Yes.
Ask Ovechkin right now. He's missing Backstrom and Kuznetsov big time. I'm sorry, but he needs somebody
of course.
If you're a goal scorer, you need a passer. These guys are special. These guys score goals, and it's rare to find players like that. But you need a passer. If they get open, they cannot go get the puck and go in front of the net and screen the goalie. They need to get open in a certain area in the zone. So that means you need somebody to get the puck and you need somebody to pass the puck, which was exactly what they were doing when they were hot. You had Slafkovsky getting the puck. He was going to the net after, and Suzuki was passing the puck to Caulfield. That's how it's supposed to be played when you get a sniper. Think about any goal scorer in the history of the NHL. They had somebody passing the puck.
Hey, what do you make of this Brady Tkachuk being on the block?
Well, if that rumor is true, that's a major mistake from the Ottawa Senators. You don't find players like that anywhere. Why? Why would they do that? They want to keep all the other softies, like the people that don't show up. That's what they want to keep. Why? They should look at their defensemen instead. They have 4 guys that are doing the same job: Sanderson, Chabot, Chikrin, if that's the way to pronounce it, and
Chikrin, Chikrin,
right? And there's another small defenseman. They all play the same way. Hey, if you trade Brady Tkachuk, one of the biggest mistakes from this organization, for sure, in my opinion.
And this coming from Ryan Whitney, of course, who's part of Spitting Chicklets. And so, could be that, he's tired of them losing, and that's a good thing, that he's tired of them losing. And maybe there's something coming from him. I don't know.
Why would you trade this guy when you could get something good at the trade deadline for guys like Tarasenko, like maybe Chabot? You got enough there to go get picks and get young guys. You don't trade character, Tony. We made the mistake in Montreal not to draft him. You don't trade character.
No,
character, toughness.
He's young still too, right? He's 24 years old.
The guy scores goals. He fights. He's got grit. He's a leader. He wants to win. You can see that he cannot stand losing, even if he's losing games. Just get a team around him. You cannot blame one guy, and that's your hardest worker when you're losing. But just look at the organization first. Look what happened in the last few years, whatever it's for the rink, whatever is the management, whatever is the coaches they've picked. Just, solve what's going on off the ice, then take care of your dressing room, but don't take care of heart, man. If you have heart, you cannot get rid of that. Impossible. Not a chance.
If I was the Florida Panthers, if I was any team, I'd be very interested in that player, obviously. But I'm the Florida Panthers. But then again, they're first in the National Hockey League without him. How about Brady Tkachuk for Elias Pettersson?
Well, that's
Elias Pettersson's a better player.
I don't know, man. He's he's got more skills and all that, but
we can make the argument that Brady Tkachuk could be a better playoff player.
Man, in the playoffs, I cannot wait to see that guy in the playoff, but I don't know. I will believe it when I see it, because for me that's impossible. I don't see, unless there's something I don't know about this kid in the dressing room, and he's I don't know him personally, but I don't see how you get rid of a player like that. No
okay,
way.
But let me ask you this: the Vancouver Canucks give you a call and they offer you Elias Pettersson for Brady Tkachuk. You're Ottawa. What do you say?
That's a tough one.
I know what you're worried about. You're worried about the fact that Ottawa has a lot of skilled players, but they don't have anyone who's got the makeup of Tkachuk.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the problem in Ottawa. Every single guy is a very talented player, but you need sandpaper. Like, you need guys that, like in Vancouver, what's working right now is like the guys like JT Miller. They go to the net, they do their job, they're gritty. They have, that's why they have success. Same in Boston. Like guys like Marchand, they had success because they play like the two games, the skill game and the sandpaper game. So Peterson, is he a great player? Yes, but it's exactly the opposite of what the Ottawa Senators need. And then they would get rid of a guy like Tkachuk. No, I don't believe it.
I hear you. Rick Tocchet for sure would like to have him on his team. That I could tell you.
100%. Probably with probably friend with the old guy, and he loves this type of player. That's for sure. He would love that. 100%.
Could you imagine having Elias Pettersson, Tim Stützle, Shane Pinto, and Josh Norris at center? It can't be. Like, it wouldn't,
I think they would be in the same position long term. I think they need and then that, how do you say that? They need to be structured line by line. You cannot have 4 first line. That doesn't work.
I hear you.
You need guys that play on the PK. You need guys that hit guys. You need guys that fight. You need guys that take faceoffs. You need guys that score goals. Right now, they have every single guy in the lineup wants to play on the first line. This is a problem to me. You need guys that accept their roles. You need guys that can go get the puck in the corner. Like, just think about the structure of the Slavkovsky, Suzuki, Caulfield line. When they were doing, I'm coming back to them a lot, but when they were playing well, everybody was accepting their role. Slavkovsky was playing his role, Suzuki his role. In Ottawa, everyone wants to score goals. They're not.
Yeah, they all want to do their thing.
Same thing. A
bunch of individuals.
Same thing in Buffalo. Buffalo. You need a team, Tony.
No, I hear you. They weren't able to get that whole team concept, and a lot of guys are thinking about themselves, losing mentality for 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, and then all of a sudden, when that happens, what are you doing? You're just thinking about your individual stats, and nothing else matters, right?
Exactly.
All right, okay. Canadians in Florida on Thursday night, and we'll obviously be watching that. My guest tomorrow night, by the way, for those wondering, is going to be Craig Button, TSN hockey analyst and director of scouting. He's Maxim Lapierre of La Poche Bleue. La Poche Bleue goes what? Tomorrow night?
No, Thursday morning this week. That's it. We're trying a little show in the morning. Thursday morning.
Thursday morning. At what time?
7 to 8:30. We want to try to talk about hockey with a coffee. We have a few special guests coming. One you're gonna really like. Yeah.
I look forward to finding out about the show. So you're trying Thursday morning. Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
You couldn't pay me. You know what? I wish you all the best. You couldn't pay me enough to wake up at that time. So whoever's going to join you, you better.
6
I did
6 every morning here. 6 a.m.
I did morning radio for 2.5 years, and I found like it took like 10 years off of my life. But if you're a morning person, maybe you're a morning person.
Yeah, 100%.
You're early riser?
Yeah, 6 a.m. every morning.
6 a.m. every morning you wake up?
Yeah.
And what do you do? What's your ritual?
I just take care of the kids. Just look at the news. Right. Then I go to the office. I go to La Poche Bleue, drink a coffee, work on projects, play pickleball. I do everything, Tony.
Oh, you play pickleball? I haven't played yet. All
People, listen to me. You need to play pickleball. It's unbelievable.
It's fun, eh? It looks fun.
Yeah. We play.
It looks really fun.
Like a couple ex-players, like we play 2 against 2, and it's a lot of fun. That's the most fun I've had playing a new sport in a while.
And you put a few bucks on the line?
No, just a few calories.
So I'll tell you this. I don't want to bore you, but I'll say this, all right? The one thing that was my favorite pastime was obviously going to watch my kids' soccer games. And with one of them in Portugal, obviously, I can't watch too many games. My newest pastime, besides sports and doing what we do, so you're doing pickleball?
Yeah.
For me, is Texas Hold'em. I'm into the whole Texas Hold'em now, but not only like just, not that I watch it now. I study it. I watch it on YouTube. I'm into it. I play it on my phone. I think it's very strategic game, and it helps exercise the mind. And I don't exercise that too much, so I'm enjoying that.
I'll play against you one day. Thanks for your money in advance.
All right. You're very welcome. The more I give to you, the less I have to give to my wife. It's all good.
Have a good night, bud.
Max, some of the comments, you can read them. A lot of people really appreciate your thoughts, your opinions, you coming on. They like your ideas, they like your vibe, they like your attitude. So thanks for being a real good contributor to the Sick Podcast. I appreciate it.
Thanks to everyone. Always a pleasure. So let's keep going, guys.
Merci beaucoup, mon ami.
Bye-bye.
Okay, on se parle plus tard. All right, there you have it. Maxim Lapierre, former Montreal Canadian of La Poche Bleue. All right, okay. There you go. Tony is 20 years too late. Is that for what exactly? Is that for Texas Hold'em? No, it's never too late for Texas Hold'em. I don't know what I'm 22 years too late for, but anyway. Okay. I want to thank once again Energy Transportation Group. I want to thank LaBittTB. I want to thank Playground, and I want to thank Accent Insurance Solutions. I also want to thank all of you for watching and listening, all of you on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and Twitter Live. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple if you can. It's our way, really, of feeling the love. We very much appreciate that. If you like the show tonight, like it, share with your friends, comment Sick, S-I-C-K, S-I-C-K. We'll be back tomorrow night, same time, same place, 10 p.m., this time once again with Craig Button of TSN. For Agnello, Sammy, Juliana, and Master Control, they are Cavallaro. I'm Tony Marinaro. I can't believe they started Montembeau tonight. I can't believe they won that game. And I can't believe people were singing Ole, 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 Ale Montreal, and Bleu Blanc Rouge. Actually, I can't believe it. I actually had this dream last night. It felt like more of a nightmare. Tonight was another nightmare. 2 points further from a better pick. I hope you're happy, Montreal. I think that was a dumb move. Good night. Talk to you tomorrow.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Tony Marinaro on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts. The Sick Podcast is brought to you by Energy Transportation Group, driven to be different. LaBittTB, embrace your true nature. And Playground, your premier gaming destination.